Welcome back to the Imaginary Gallery. It's TJ here again. And welcome back to the gay world of narcissism. The world that doesn't seem to be recognized much. And we also thank you to SACHA SLONE for suggesting that ironic title. If you don't know what ironic is, it's not what Alanis Morissette says it is, but you can research that one on your own if you'd like. Tonight is a gay online dating horror story. Sounds like fun. The purpose of the story is just to let those of you who don't know just how certain things can go. So, if you're dealing with this modern technology we have, then this applies to you. And we all know my old story. I was involved with a monster for over a decade. None of this stuff existed back then. I didn't even know it existed. Then after I was out of there, I discovered this online world of people everywhere in the phone applications were 5 feet away. Ooh, hi, you're 5 feet away. And that never existed in the old days. And so I was going crazy with this technology that aliens probably brought to us. But, who knows? But the point of it was that it was just wild to think that, wow, I thought I'd already signed my life over to that cage I was locked up into, and now I'm suddenly free. Well, let's see what's going on. So I messed with this technology, and I was on it, just, again, looking at it, thinking, wow, I can't believe there are like 30 people here that are all like close by, that are all on. It was just wild for that period. So there was one particular picture that caught my attention, and I don't remember if I said something or it said something first, who knows. But regardless, the conversation started. So it's talking back and forth, I like your picture. Do you have any more? Oh, here's another one. Oh, here's another one. And back and forth and back and forth. Well, we'd chat here and then maybe stop. Well, then maybe a day or so later, I'd see the person on there again and would have another conversation. Well, eventually, it was like, let's say a Wednesday, and chatting was going on, and it just so happened I planned to go out to this karaoke bar and was chatting with this person, which it said was very close. And this person said he was going to the same place. So I thought, well, I'm going there too. Well, we could meet in real life. Because it's strange to think that these people online, sometimes they're not real people. I've learned that. That's a lesson. But I figured, well, we'll find out if this one's real. So I went ahead and did my stuff. And then I went to the nightclub place and sang my songs. Sandy! And anyway, I saw it and talked to it. And we chatted back and forth. And then, of course, 1 drink, 2 drink, 3 drinks. He happened to live... Okay, here's the map. There's bar here. There's his place here. And there's my place over there where you can't see. So I thought, well, he lives close. So I said, fine. And he's like, hey, want to come over to my apartment after the bar? And he and his friend, he was with some friends. And I said, sure. And I figured, if anything, it's right by my house, so what? So I went. More drinks were served and other things. And chatted here, chatted there. And then eventually everybody was ready to pass out because we drank liquor like teenagers. So I slept there on the bed in his room. And woke up kind of early, and his friend gave me a ride back home, even though I could have walked. But I thought, wow, how interesting. Being locked in that cage for all those years I got used to it. It's just kind of neat to experience new things. And the persons, they were all nice, and I thought, well, this is great. Well, and luckily, this was not one of the ones I term as a leech, because this could have gone a different way. But the way this went was I left and maybe saw it a week or so later online and just said hi or whatever. But none of the nonsense leech behavior of if I would have come home and gotten a message, I had a great time last night, I can't wait to see you again, how about today? And none of that happened, so I thought, you know what, this is the way it should be. I don't want one of those leeches clinging on, I don't even know. So, that was great. So, weeks and months went by, and I don't recall all the details, but we did the same kind of thing again, another time. Well, then another time down the road, and there were, again, weeks and months in between. Not even, again, no daily conversations. Hi, I just went to the bathroom. Hi, I just had breakfast. None of that stuff. It was just rare, which I thought was great. Well, one particular night, I was at the same place, and he was there, and we were talking and whatever, and he suggested he wanted to come back to my home. So I thought, well, sure. And I thought, I'm not going to put out for you. I drank too much liquor. But I figured you could come over, whatever. So he came over, I served more drinks, like some wine or something, and talked, chatted, listened to music, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, well, okay, everything so far with this person's been great. And of course, it was a young kid. It was younger than I was, but didn't matter. And I just took it all each day as it came and figured, you know what? This is a world I've been out of for a long time, and I don't know. So anyway, he ended up staying and sleeping, and great. Well, then in the morning, I recall waking up. And I woke up alone because my brain was kind of like thinking, there's somebody here with you. You better look out. And sure enough, there was nobody there. And I thought, well, where is he? Is he in the bathroom? And I looked at the bathroom. Nobody there. So I figured, was he downstairs? And I went downstairs. Nobody there. And I thought, well, where did the kid go? And so then I went to the front door. And the front door was unlocked and shut. So evidently, he decided to wake up and let himself out and not announce it. So I thought, well, that's weird, because all this stuff was new. Because again, had been out of this world for such a long time. So I figured, oh, okay. Well, then eventually I moseyed around the kitchen, and I went to throw something away. And when I opened the trash can, I noticed some pizza crusts in the trash that looked like they'd been eaten and thrown in there. And I thought, where'd that come from? Because I had made like a pizza with a boboli bread shell or whatever a few weeks before, and it wasn't very good. It wasn't very good, so I just kind of left it in the refrigerator. Well, my intuition tells me evidently this kid decided to wake up, take it upon himself to go into my kitchen, search through the shelves of the refrigerator, saw something that looked pretty, take it, eat it, and then put it in the trash, and then leave. And I thought, rude, who does that? But then again, I don't know, maybe everybody does, I didn't know. But I thought, that's kind of sick. But then I didn't hear from him or see him at all for like months, weeks. And I kept thinking, like, again, why would someone do that? I would have told him, don't eat that if you're hungry. I mean, if you wanted food, you should have said, hey, I'm hungry, let's do something. But no. But anyway, so he was gone. And I figured, well, whatever. Because don't get attached. I didn't get attached. I was like, okay, I can take you or leave you. But anyway, weeks, months, and a long time passed. And then one night out of the blue, this is, of course, after I was arrested because I drank liquor and drove home, heaven forbid, and got arrested. That's a different story. But I was not going to get in trouble. Well, one night I had a few wines, and I got a text from him out of the blue saying, could you please pick me up? And it's like, where are you? And it happened to be just a few blocks over, so I figured, you know what? If I was stopped by police, I'd probably be arrested, but it's a weeknight, and it's 3-4 blocks. I'll chance it. So I got in the car, foolishly, drove to the location, picked up the kid, brought it over, but then I remembered the last time. So when he came over, we did the usual, and I'd said, hey, by the way, if you can stay here tonight, but if you stay here, you need to let me know when you're leaving. If I'm asleep, wake me up. And I said, I don't want you just to leave here like last time. Because last time you just left and I didn't know what was going on. And I told him all this, thinking, okay, I set this straight. Well, we did our usual thing, and then finally it was time to pass out to sleep. And I went to sleep. Well, sleep, 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 z, z, z. And then all of a sudden, in the morning, I wake up. Deja vu. I'm in an empty bed, empty room. And I remember telling the person, well, I thought he must still be here because I had made it clear if he's leaving to tell me. But there was nobody there. So I went down the steps, down to the kitchen, and strangely, I heard a strange sound. The dishwasher was on, which I still don't know what that was about because it wasn't even full of dirty dishes, but it was on. I thought, who turned the dishwasher on? Turned it off, and then I just checked the front door, and sure enough, once again, some people don't listen, and the door was unlocked but shut. So I figured, what's going on here? Well, then I started looking around the kitchen, just standing there, because I have this strange intuition which picks up on things. It must be from another dimension. But I happened to notice something out of place on my counter. Something that's normally in the cabinet was actually on the counter, and I thought, so what's that doing there? So then I opened up my cabinet, which had many valuable items in it, and it also had a friend of mine who had some hydrocodone prescription pills. She'd leave them over here when she came by. She'd have them. Everything was wiped out. The complete cabinet was just empty. And I thought, oh my goodness. And then later, I went to my freezer where I usually keep this huge bottle of vodka that lasts for months because I only drink it on the weekends. And it was gone. I thought, oh my goodness. First it was pizza. Now it's this stuff. And I didn't mention this, but after meeting him shortly after, I went onto Facebook and became his friend so I could see him on there. So he was on my friends list. Well, as soon as I saw this and put two and two together, this kid just stole from me and left. I was furious. So I went to my computer first to go to Facebook. And guess what? Miraculously, he was gone from my friends list. And I tried to type his name in and this page has been removed. Or I thought, oh my god. So then I texted. I said, hey, get back over here and bring back my things. Those aren't yours. And I didn't call this one a narcissist video. I just call it a toxic video, so it doesn't matter what label you give this one, it's toxic. That's at the end, but texted him just come on now, you need to bring back those things, they're not yours. No response, no response, no response. So, weeks, months went by, I didn't see the person anywhere, and I told my friends, your pills were stolen, and she was mad. And I told her the whole story. Well, a few weeks, months later, we're at the nightclub, and there he is. And I said, he's here. So she went up to him, and she's like, you need to stop stealing people's drugs, and blah, blah. And the boy did the typical toxic person narcopathic behavior, such as, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't take anything. You make it sound like I'm a druggie. I don't use drugs. And I thought, oh, this is sick. And I was tempted, it's a good thing I didn't, but I was tempted to grab the mace out of her purse and spray it in his face and say, look, fuckface, don't steal from people that take you in when they shouldn't even be driving, but I didn't, luckily, because then he could just go to the police and say, oh, for no reason, he attacked me, so forget it, then it's just one word against the other. Anyway, the moral of the story is, if you deal with these online people, keep in mind, if you have one interaction with them and they seem fine, that doesn't mean that they're fine. And if you have a second interaction and they're fine, doesn't mean they're fine. Because in this case, he was by doing nothing wrong. Well, he stole the food, of course, but not doing anything like stealing other things. And then eventually, when I felt comfortable enough with him, then he does it. So look out. Doesn't mean to be paranoid, of course. shortly afterwards, if I ever had anybody over here again after anything, my first line would be, okay, you're going to come over here, give me your keys and give me your billfold, and I'd take it somewhere and hide it and lock it up. But then again, if they had a gun or a knife, they'd find it, but still I would try that precaution. But I don't know. You do what you want, but it's just thieves are everywhere. Evil people who will deny what they've done, even though, again, you could argue it like, okay, so he's claiming he didn't steal anything, yet things are missing, and there's no sign of a struggle in the kitchen. But again, that's not worth going through, because if you tried that with him, it would be the same old narcopathic crap where they would say, well, maybe somebody else walked in. And so, yeah, they knew exactly where to go to find whatever they needed, and then just put everything right back together and turn the dishwasher on and no. But anyway, it's not worth it. But just be careful out there. There are devils